waiting for the appointed time, and and I need to give you some facts. It's never my intentions to take over or someone else is doing, but it's always my intentions to educate you. Okay, just if you go buy a new car, I need you to be educated. Sit in front of someone with a you're going to buy a home, know what they're talking about, and it's the same thing. If you talk to somebody else in reference to your credit, so I need you to be educated. Okay, so that's where I'm coming in. I have ordered some. I haven't got them yet. I thought I was going to have them last week, but I didn't. Booklets in reference so you all can have them for in reference to identity theft. Um, and so once they get here, I will be giving you those. But I do want you to, again, I want to educate, is to do anything other than to educate the people of God. I don't aim to, trust me, I'm already walking in millionaire status with this book. Let me tell you why. Because I'm not overcharging and want to get this out, not me making money. Making anything off of these books, even my new, because it's going to go all over the world. It's the Christ in me. Now, I want you to write down some information. You're going to need this. Whether you go down and sit with any with anyone, you need to know this before you sit because again, it's all about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay. Now, I need you to know that you can do this online and or you can those sheets that I've passed out if you've received your credit report, uh, even with the hack, you can still um, you can get yourself protected on write this website down if you're computer savvy. Equifax2017.com. And that's Equifax, EQUIFAX, Security, SECURITY 2017.com. Now, for a whole year, you can take advantage of free credit monitoring with Equifax for a whole year, 12 months. You can do that yourself. You don't need a company or anyone else to do that. You can do that yourself. You can also credit freeze on your credit in the event that you're going for credit. That's going to give a red flag to your whomever you're sitting in front of to say there's a freeze it being pulled. With that freeze, it just alerts the consumer to step and getting your information, IDing you. That comes with taking advantage, excuse me, of freezing your credit report yourself. Okay? I don't want to go too fast. Stop me if you need me to, or raise your hand if you need me to slow down. Now, we also can pull our credit reports annually ourselves. We can do that. We can do that. You don't, we can do that. I don't want to stress enough. You have to go and have somebody to do it for you. Do it yourself. But it's easier, right? Microwave. It's okay, Kate, it yourself because you never know who you're sitting in front of. So when you know that you know for yourself, you really have to go in the presence of others.
Okay. All my only question is, for people that's not really used to computers and stuff, like you. If I wanted to do all this right here, it's good for me to sit down with somebody to take me through this process.
Yes, but if you're not computer savvy, and I believe because side note, I'm sorry. I should have brought them today. Them um, the forms that I give you all to fill out that you get your annual credit report, that form that you send to Equifax yourself, and it's got Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Thank you. Form that thing. If you don't have it, I I will bring those for computer savvy. That's fine. Yes, thank you. Now let me tell you what happened to with Tracy. Now Tracy pulled this up and he went ahead and he did it. He did everything. But what happened after the fact, he also got a text message that was scam. So I need you to because no one should be asking you for your birthday. You will last 6 digits of your social. Last six. If you need to, you can call me. I can walk you through it. Well, I will. I promise. I'm getting prepared for next Saturday. I'll be speaking at South Main. They're doing a day of finance and education, and I'm their guest speaker. Thank you, Jesus. And so I'm so focused on that. And but I needed to bring this information to you. Yes, last six. Thank you. Can do that, but in again in 12 months they're going to um, remind you that you owe money. Right. And again, I'm an advocate for letting the people know. Did you have something? Okay. I want you to be in the know. All right. Now, credit report. Who's that?
Should we do this for our children? Or
I I'm actually because there was a huge breach. I am the brochures that I will be getting. They again I've ordered them. It's been 3 weeks out. Um, it is okay if you do it for your children too, because when there was a breach, there it wasn't. It was all social. I mean, it was. I would do it. Yes, But if you're not here next Sunday and they come this week, I'll give it to Brother Steve. I'm sorry, please bear with me. I'll give it to Brother Steve, and I will make sure you get that identity theft information in reference to your children. Yes, good question. Um, the reason why should we do it for our children? People are stealing Social Security numbers every day. Now, when you have your credit report frozen and you go and you sit in front of the consumer and they have to take extra steps, that's okay. You want them to take extra steps. And what they're going to do is they're going to need your driver's license, and they're going to need to know if that address is current, and what, and then, and what's going to happen is you're going to have to sign a waiver, okay, and that you are who you are. You're remember because when I taught about identity theft a long time ago, it's so prevalent that I can make you believe that I'm Frederica and she is actually Frederica, but yet when she go to get or apply, they're questioning her because they believe me over her. Yeah. No. Right. No. No. Right. 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 Well, she's exactly right. I want to pause there. Please don't give your information out. And these numbers that are calling from California, from uh, Georgia, from let's see, New York, everywhere. You don't know the number. You know what? It used to be where you could pick up the you wouldn't pick up the phone because you if you had company, you felt like, oh Lord, they gonna think it's a bill collector. Well, you know what? Don't pick up the phone. Just don't answer it. Just don't answer the phone. And if you because you know why I say that now? Because deeper in that conversation with you, all they want is a yes from you, and they can begin to take everything that they have and put it out there. I can hear her. Okay, my heels are. Mhm, mhm. But how does this keep happening? Not just that. Not just that. It's it's in the computer. You can be innocent as children and they have a social and it's already out there. Dr. Miles, it was it last week you were able to FaceTime Alex, y'all. So that means we've got to just be aware and be mindful and be careful and know what to do. Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Mm, your information. Hmm. It's everywhere. Amen. Amen. Right. That's true. Very dangerous. That's true. Amen. Amen. And let me just say that if you have uh, already received your annual credit report for the year, and you do this, you'll still be able to get it. Okay, and you can also check Credit Karma on a daily basis. Your score is not going to decrease if you do it. You are sitting in front of a consumer and they pull it. That's called what we've learned before, an hard inquiry, to where you're saying, pull my credit. I want to purchase this item. Okay. Um, the other thing is you can set up fraud. Um, you can set up fraud and credit card alerts on your actual credit card, or your debit card at the bank. You can set that up. All right. Um, how do I do that? I just walk in the bank and I just go in there and I say, I want to just take some extra cautious steps, and I want to um, uh, make sure that there's a fraud alert set up just to be safe. Now, um, I when I was I had the bank to call me, and I'm grateful for the credit union, and they called me because they kept seeing the same transaction. It was about a cruise, which I had given permission, but they saw one too many, and they called me, and I was so grateful. And I told that man, I said, if I were near you, I would take you to lunch, because you are doing your job, and I appreciate that. I didn't get upset. Some people, let's not be one of those that, talk out of that hole sometimes that can open in our head, and we get upset, and we because they interrupted us. Those interruptions are good. You want to be interrupted. So, um, the credit card alerts, every time, if you put a credit card alert on your credit card, every time your credit card is used, not sometimes, but every time it's used, it is going to alert you, which is good. This day and time, you can't be too careful. You can't be too careful. Another side note, and overseer said this, um, and this was on the news too, about a man had refinanced his house, but he did it online, and and they took over $270,000, and so he never got his house refinanced. Well, wouldn't shouldn't he have known better to stop sending money, and not to do this? And well, in his mind, it was okay because he uh, he was going to refinance his house. Well, if your closing costs for your house is 270,000, and your house is only 230,000, thank God for common. Okay. It's too easy. Right, right, right. If you know who you're dealing with, and that's why I say use extra caution because it's like me, I'm just old school. I like a piece of paper. I'm just I don't think I'll ever part from my wealth of knowledge that the Lord has given me. But in reference to paper. But if it's your company, um, and you know that you know, and you could physically go and touch, that's different. But it's still using caution. Um, and again, um, I'm gonna say it again. That is one of the on my book. Jordan has caution. Use caution. Anything that you do, use caution of what you're doing. Now, when you get your credit report, if you find any errors on your credit report, what do you do? What do you do? If I find an error on my credit report, what do I do? Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. If you find any errors on your credit report, she called, um, and she basically wanted to know what it was, and which is good. What you do is you photocopy that or screenshot that particular error on the report. You should send them that also to let them see where the error is. And you send it to the bureau that the error is on. Now, there's three bureaus: Credit, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. If it's on Equifax and not on Experian, you don't have to send it to Experian. You send it to the credit card, excuse me, thinking credit cards, the company that it's on, and you dispute with them. Do not use their dispute letters. You can go on their sites, you can get letters. Those are in favor of them. So you just write a simple letter. This is an error on my report. Here is a copy of it. Please remove it. They have 30 days to remove the error. It should be dropped within 30 days. If it's not dropped within 30 days, then automatically they got to take it off. Okay. If you have duplicate information, and sometimes we do, it could be credit credit bank A right here, credit bank C down here at the bottom of your report. That's duplicate. It's the same account numbers, but you know you only borrowed one time. Then you can photocopy both and write that letter, and there's a 30-day response. And what they're going to do is they're also going to send you another copy of your credit report saying that with it all being taken off. Mhm. How long have you had them? Forever? There's nothing on it. Okay, that's a good question. If you've got credit cards that are on your credit report that they've been on there forever and you're not using them, now I'm an advocate for at least one credit card because you have to have a credit card for flights. You have to have if you're going to rent a hotel, you don't want them holding your debit card $100 to $200. And so with that being said, if you close one, so you got to it's a catch 2020. If you close it, it could drop your score. Now, if you keep it and stay disciplined with it, I'm an advocate again for one, not for two, three, four. Well, not for three, four, five, and six. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Get rid of them. You go ahead and call them, and you cancel them, and because the interest rate is so high anyway, and yeah, and if you owe anything, continue just to pay what you're doing. Those are department stores. If you've had for example, the example I gave a while ago, Jordan's has one credit card, and he received it when he first went to college. We got him the well, actually, he applied for the credit card himself, and it's a small limit. Now, Jordan's let's fast forward. He's 35 years old now. He's not really old, but let's say he's 35 years old, and he's always kept that particular credit card. But now he's gone and applied for another one within the past. It's more beneficial for him to keep the one that he's had because that shows better history. Now, answer your question, should she keep? That's going to be based on actual individual. How is the credit? Anybody start to just boom, 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 cancel credit cards. If you're sitting in front of a consumer and they see that that's affecting your debt to income ratio, yes, recommend you to get rid of some of that debt. Me personally, I would recommend you kept the oldest, and if you were tempted to go ahead and get rid of them, cancel those. There's no need to keep them. There's no need to keep them. Whether it's a Visa, a Master, or there's no need to keep them. I would. It's going to drop. See, that's what I'm saying. Catch 2020. You're going to that score when you start to cancel debt. So you're kind of in limbo. Should I not? It's going to be up to the actual individual. Your score will drop if you begin to start to cancel debt. And it's going to dip and it's coming back up. And there's no way to control it. I'm going to get you. There's no way to control it because you're doomed if you have too much debt and then you have to suffer for a little while if you cancel some of that debt. So it's going to be up to the actual individual. If you're going to be okay with your score, it's going to dip it. And if you have applied for something and you have an explanation and you let that consumer know, well, it was this, but it did drop because I chose to cancel. And some people, that's why I say you got to be educated and you got to be in there. Some people will tell you, well, you shouldn't have done that. But I want to come out of debt. So you've got to know, what are your goals? I'm coming out of debt. I don't want any more bondage. But it's going to dip for a little while because you did cancel. So if you cut credit cards and tell them you no longer want them, then don't go get any more debt. It is. So it will drop it because either I have too much debt or I don't have enough, or I'm midways and I choose to get rid of some and I still suffer. So before you, I do. I again, I will say this. I know I'm live. I look. I'm not an advocate for a lot of credit cards. I'm not an advocate for a department store credit card because if you if you just look at it and you can't afford it and you got to use the credit card, did you really need it? Did you really need it? And in this book, it says, yield, wait, think. Is it a need? I'm gonna show y'all. The other one says stop. Stop using our tithes on unnecessary purchases. Next one, God gave it to me. It says it's only one way. It's God's way to tithe, to save, pay bills, and play later. It's only one way. Well, you don't know how much money I make. I don't know why I had to go. It's not even the, you know what? These books are, it doesn't matter. I've sold one, but it doesn't even matter if I sell another one. I'm going to say this. This is what God gave me. This is true. You don't know where I am, Hope. I get this all the time. You don't know where I am financially, so who are you to tell me I need to be saving? And who are you to tell me that I need to start somewhere? I'm just a vessel. So you can start somewhere. What's your speed limit? What's your savings limit? You can start somewhere, whether it be a piggy bank or $1 a day, or what is it, mother? $2.85. And the other warning, and it brings me to where I got on. It's temptation. Use caution. It's good. They're making news. I remember when Pastor Miles was saying, iPhone 6. Have y'all seen it? Now they have what? 8 and 10. I think it's 10,000. I think it's $1,000. I'm gonna lay hands on you. If you spend $1,000 on the phone, oh my God, help us all. Oh my Lord. And we're gonna get back because there's one more thing I want to tell you. But the other page is this. It's no you turning. Stay on the straight and savings road. And the reason I say that, I got to get Aunt Lois first. I got to get Aunt Lois. But the reason that I say that is I got a phone call, a text message from a young lady that I labored with. And I always get the boot after a little while. And they were doing so well. They weren't tithing, and they began to tithe, and they began to do so well. They paid off debt. And then they gave me the boot. And then I said, that's okay. I'm going to stay focused and I'm going to stay humble, God, because you called me. And she texted me the other night and she said, we do I need to get a loan to consolidate some debt? And I told her absolutely not. And I said to her, um, I'm doing a finance class next week, and we go in more detail. And she said, my husband had a heart attack, and we this, and we that, and we this, and we that. And I told her, I said, consolidating when you're not strong is nothing but more bondage. Okay? So I'm telling you, that's why the Lord gave me that to stay on that road, to stay on that road. Now I'm going to walk and give Lois this microphone because I don't want, she don't need the mic. Praise the Lord. Yes. Expire. Hmm. Hmm. Uh-huh. If you don't want it, you call them and you cancel the card. What I Yeah, but you still have the availability of the credit. It's gonna if you yeah, it's gonna drop it for a little while. Not a lot. I can't even give y'all. Well, it's gonna drop it 3 points. I don't know, but it is gonna dip it a little bit. You could, but you don't need it. And well, then you're not gonna go and buy a new car or a new house no time soon. So call them and cancel that card. Well, that's fine. It's not gonna drop it a lot. It's not gonna uh, dip it too much. It's just gonna dip it for a little while, and in the event that um, it's gonna drop it probably one for about 3 months. It takes the it takes them 30 days to report. It takes Equifax 30 days to um, modify that. Thank you for that word, and then for them to get you your information out. So about 3 months, it'll drop, but you know why it dropped. See, this is the thing right here, and I saw you. When they don't know, then we got a problem. But when they drop and we know that we canceled a card because we want to come out of debt, that's a good thing. Yes. Yes. It's going back up. It may. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to say yes. Yeah, but you got to remember it may take it up a little bit because the debt to income ratio is lower. So that's a good one. Did I miss anything? And the other thing I want to is anything that's old that's been sitting out there um, on your credit report that should have been aged off within that 7 year mark and did not age off, you can write a letter. It's simple. Please take this, screenshot it, take this off of my credit report. It should have aged off, and they'll take it off. Any more questions? No more questions? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's where I started. That teach. Yeah. So what she's saying is when
December, October, November, Lord have gonna be blessing me to pay off a March, 3,500 and some dollar debt.
Amen. So this is where I started when I didn't really know what I was doing in teaching people how to save. And here's where I am now. Amen. Hmm. Right. Oh, right. Hmm. Right. And with that, have some more professional bookmarks that that's got it on the back of what you save a month if you save the $2.85 a day. Have it on my professional, and I praise God the mother still has that. That's when I didn't. Um, yes, humble beginnings. So, and again, I want to announce that if anyone will, I brought 5 books. If these are my clearance books, and as I said earlier, and if you will purchase one, you'll get a $4 off. And when the ones that have no flaws on them because they had an editor, I will actually trade you out the book and when I get those.